How you doing, Mr. Athmer?
Hi, Kelby. Great to see you today.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
What's that, Kelby?
How safe do you feel outside of school?
I feel mostly safe outside of school. I live in a very residential neighborhood in Washington, D.C., in Northeast D.C. Lots of land, lots of yard space. We have buses that roll through our neighborhood, but we're not close or accessible to a metro station, so the density seems a lot less than maybe in other parts of the city. So I feel very mostly safe. I'm not seeing a lot of people. I'm not seeing a lot of things happening. Um, so I feel mostly safe.
Currently, as you know, there's team takeovers happening in Southeast, and there's youth curfew zones.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you, do you think they're effective?
It's so unfortunate that we even have to discuss teen takeovers or curfews at all.
Mhm.
First and foremost, everybody should be able to enjoy their lives whenever and wherever they want and please, as long as they're respectful to the community around them and are cordial to their neighbors. Um, I don't think a curfew is a long term answer. I also don't think it's going to be a short term solution that improves the quality of life of both students or kids, young youth, or adults, regular citizens. Um, I think it's a shame that we're debating whether or not kids should be at home before 8 p.m. or out of those zones at 8 p.m. Is it's a situation that I think stems from the lack of direct programming for kids. The city offers a lot of programming for our youth, whether that's in school or outside of school. I think now the problem is the connecting of the programs with the users, which would be the kids. I feel like we need to do a better job of getting them to go to these events that DPR is putting on, or schools are putting on, or the city at large is putting on. We're just assuming the kids will come to us if we offer the programming. I think we need to do a better job of going to them with the programming. Um, and so I don't think the curfews are a solution. I don't think the debate is worth the amount of time we're giving it, um, because I believe we need to do better at taking the programs we have and have funded already and bringing them to the kids. And so the kids are much more amenable and excited to be part of some of these programs, whether it's sports or arts or hangouts or safe spaces to go to see their friends. We need to do a better job of communicating those options for them.
Do you think that community violence interrupters is going to help reduce crime and it's a better option instead of traditional policing?
This is a great question that is very nuanced. I think having community based violence interrupters or violence liaisons that support neighborhoods specifically can help deter crime or support the rehabilitation of people that have committed crimes and are returning to neighborhoods. However, I do believe there, to some extent, that provides a softer response that doesn't work for everybody, and the softer response sometimes, unfortunately, yields more severe or drastic crimes. So it's a tough balance to have, where we do, I think, need kind of an oscillation back to some traditional policing practices, such as if you commit a violent crime, you probably need to be reprimanded and held longer than we have been doing so. Um, with that said, I do think there is space to provide a space for violence interrupters, um, to be a larger force to deter more crime, but it can't be a standalone only solution. I think it needs to work in tandem with more traditional practices that we hear all the time, right? Getting violent crime off the streets sometimes takes a harder line approach than some of our softer, more progressive policies suggest.
Mr. Athmer, I know you are into sports. And as you know, recently it was reported that Metro does not recommend building a new rail station at the RFK site. What is your opinion on that?
Yes, you're correct. I love sports, and I love that the District of Columbia, I believe, is going to be only the fourth city to house all the major sports facilities in its city limits, which is fantastic. Capital One Arena downtown is being renovated over the next couple of years. It's going to be an awesome venue for the Capitals and the Wizards. We have the DC United and Spirit playing at Audi Field, and we have the Nationals playing at Nationals Park, and now we're getting the Commanders back at RFK 2.0 by 2030, I guess. And I think it's so powerful for the city to have these sports entities in their city limits for culture purposes, for vibes, for positive morale, for recreation, for entertainment, for tourism. It's fantastic for the city. It's growing its tax base. I know the dollar and cents don't always work out in some people's eyes, but I think this transcends the economics of dollars and cents and makes the city a better city because of it. Metro, I think, is totally accurate and correct, saying that not only is it not feasible or viable to build a new station on the existing land, but also it needs to upgrade the current infrastructure that we have. I believe that we can be super creative in how we go about that. I know one of the solutions was a very fast Gold Line bus system. That's what they're tagging it as, Gold Line bus system, that will shuttle massive amounts of people from Union Station to the RFK site with dedicated bus lanes and consistent, constant service. I think that's a solution. I think upgrading the current station that's at Stadium and Armory will happen and will be useful. I think we can do a lot of things beyond building an extra additional Metro station. Metro's pandering a little bit to the local politicians, trying to get some money, right? They're trying to showcase the need for upgrades elsewhere, and Metro wants those upgrades on maybe other taxpayers' dime. But we want to make sure that people can get in and out of the stadium area with ease without having to have these big, massive parking lots, which are very obstructive to the development of other things, such as hotels and restaurants and bars and other spaces that are planned for this beautiful, awesome site. So I don't think it's going to be a roadblock for either building the stadium or for any relationship with Metro. But I do think we need to consider all the options and upgrade what we do have, which I think is going to happen. It's going to be a wonderful system. And people are really good at adapting to what they need to do to go to a game that they love. The NFL is a huge, massive product. People love the NFL. They will come to the game no matter what, right? Whether you have 8 million trains coming in and out, whether you have 8 million parking lots sitting next to the stadium, people are going to figure out a way. And we just got to make sure that it's a good experience for everybody.
Mr. Athmer, I just have one more question for you. Do you have a message for every student?
I do. My message to every single kid out there is to do your best. If you do your best, and you can define that in any way you want, positive outcomes are going to happen and you're going to have a better chance at success. If you don't do your best, things get messy, lots of ups, lots of downs, without much direction. So as long as you give your best, you can do it, and you're going to have outcomes that are more positive in the future. Do your best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Athmer.
Thanks, Kelby. It was a pleasure. Thanks for interviewing me.